Let's have an honest conversation because some of the most controversial opinions about Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort, they're just not it.
And if you believe them, you might actually be making your Halloween Horror Nights experience actually worse.
So today we are breaking down 5 HHN hot takes that honestly a lot of people don't want to hear, but probably should.
Because we are in the meat, the heat, the middle of announcement season. We already have one house announcement. We're gearing up for more. We've got tickets. There's a lot that is already announced, and we are just in the beginning. I know I said I'm in the middle, but we are just in the beginning of announcement season.
Let's kick things off with arguably one of the most controversial hot takes we have, and that is the IP houses aren't always the best houses.
I know what you're saying. Guys, the IPs are strong at Halloween Horror Nights. You've got Stranger Things, you've got The Last of Us, you've got Art the Clown and Terrifier, you've got Insidious. There are some strong intellectual properties that come to Halloween Horror Nights, and with it being an anniversary year, they're probably going to be strong this year also.
But those IP houses really rely heavily on a story you already know. And I will agree, it's fun to get hyped for the season, watching those movies, like reliving the experience and being excited to go through that house in like the full-fledged 3D, 4D experience. I'm sure there's going to be water.
It's definitely 4D,
But like, they rely on what you already know and have seen versus some of these original houses that Universal creates are amazing. You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know the story until you go through it and live it. They're unexpected, they're creative, and they're some of the best memories you make when you visit Halloween Horror Nights.
The IP houses, you get to be a part of an already established storyline, which is super cool because you see that movie, you see that show really come to life. I think the unexpectedness and the creativity and the lore and the story that the Universal creative team gets to put into these original houses is incredible, or how they even mold some of the storylines like the WWE house from last year. It's sort of an IP, it's sort of an original. Is it an intellectual property? Absolutely. But the storyline, you have no real idea of where they're going to take that overall storyline.
Same thing for The Weeknd a couple years back. An IP, but also what story are we even telling? And so when it comes to these houses at Halloween Horror Nights, although you don't get to watch a movie to get to understand the original houses, that's half the fun. You get to dive in and start understanding the story as you go and put the pieces together. And also, like, the storytelling that these creatives come up with, oh my gosh. Like, incredible. It's impressive, especially when they weave pieces together
from years past.
The Easter eggs, the way that they just bring it all together to really immerse you. Again, I think that they are some of the best houses that we see at Halloween Horror Nights, although an IP does pop in.
I was going to say, some of our top houses over the years, Terrifier, IP, Insidious, IP, Halloween, middle of the road house, but very strong nonetheless.
Exorcist Believer.
Exorcist Believer, awesome house. Last year, our top house was El Artista. Dead Man's Pier, Winter's Wake.
Will forever live in my brain. I love that house.
Fiesta de Chupacabra.
So good.
Like Legends Collide, always the classic Universal monsters. Like, those are some incredibly strong houses. And as we look forward to HHN 35, our first house announcement is an original house, Jack and Oddfellow. We get to draw on the lore and the storyline from years past of how they were just in conflict with each other. Now we get to see a continuation of the story, which is super impressive. It's going to be awesome to see that kind of come to life.
So, although it's exciting to get excited about the IPs, go rewatch the movie and live it up. Don't downplay those original houses, because you might miss something actually extremely spectacular and some really cool memories.
Not to mention, those wait times for the IP houses tend to be astronomical.
Big facts, though. Big facts.
And of course, as we get closer and we get further into announcement season, you know that we are going to be bringing you all the house announcements, all the HHN updates that we possibly can. So subscribe for more, because we're going to make sure that you are ready for HHN 35.
Hot take number 2. Going to Halloween Horror Nights without a plan is dumb.
Going into Halloween Horror Nights without a kind of plan of attack, knowing just a little bit of where things are, where the houses are, what houses you want to hit, what food you want to hit, when does the darn event start. Just a little bit of research, a little bit of planning for Halloween Horror Nights can really set you up well and set your night up for success.
I know there are some people out there that love to just live off of vibes and go to HHN, breathe in the fog, and see where the night takes you.
Heck yeah.
But that can lead to disaster.
Especially if you want to get things done.
Yes, if you have a set, like, I need to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, well, going in with a little bit of a game plan will get you a long way. Living off of vibes doesn't necessarily work at HHN unless you've already gone a couple nights in a row and done what you need to do.
If you're living off vibes, there's a good chance that you're going to be waiting in line or wasting a ton of valuable time and valuable steps.
The worst thing that can happen, now I don't know if this is the very worst thing, but it's miserable in my mind, is backtrack.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, we're gonna go hit this house in the back of the park, and then you're like walking around, oh, where do we want? Well, I really want to go do this house in the front of the park, and now you're walking all the way to the front. And then you're gonna go stand in line and wait over there and maybe grab a bite to eat and stand in line while you're waiting there. And then someone's like, oh, hey, I want to go do this house, which is on the other side of the park. And now all of a sudden, you're like 4 hours into your night, your feet are killing you, and you've only hit 2.5 on your way to 3 houses.
I don't know how you would hit 2.5 houses, but okay. Like, even especially like last year, because the houses were so pocketed. You had the front of the park in the sound stages, and you had the back of the park in the tents. You could waste a lot of time if you were going from the front of the park to the back of the park to the front of the park to the back of the park, and let alone when all of those food kiosks and scare zones are also kind of spread out. That's time. That's time, and you've spent a lot of money to be at Halloween Horror Nights, and we want you to make the most of your time, because time is money.
One of the biggest recommendations I can give you guys, and you're already doing it by watching this video, is putting a little bit of a plan together before you go. And even if that just means looking at the map ahead of time so you know what the houses are, where they're located, and how you can navigate the park so that you're not walking 1.5 million steps in a night, will set you up to go a long way.
The second tip that we have is to download the Universal Orlando app, because you're going to be able to check wait times. You're not going to have to wander all the way to the back to see what those wait times are. And especially with the changes that we've seen throughout Mardi Gras, where they listed where each of the food tents was for Mardi Gras and what the menu was, that just enhanced Mardi Gras, and I think they're going to apply something similar to Halloween Horror Nights.
One can only hope that they do that. Now, if you're curious at all about a strategy of how to do HHN, how to get the most out of it, or if you're just like, how is this Stay and Scream even going to work this year? Because that is a big change. Be sure to subscribe, because we will be covering all of it, especially as the season launches.
Hot take number 3. Halloween Horror Nights is more than just the houses.
That's a fitting one for you.
Quite.
A lot of people treat Halloween Horror Nights like a checklist, where they go in and they're like, I gotta hit this big IP house, then this one, and they forget about everything else that's happening around them at this huge event.
Now, enjoying the houses is certainly fair. Like I said, you paid a lot of money to be there. You enjoy what you will.
Not to mention, Universal works on building these houses for a long time, so it does kind of rise to the top of the things to do.
Now, there are like the story elements, the greater enjoyment of HHN is kind of in the integration. You've got the houses, you've got the scare zones, you've got the shows, whether that's a nightmare-filled show or whether that's the Lagoon show. You've got underpinning of details kind of pervasive throughout the event itself, which intertwines everything.
Food, merch,
the
scare zones, scare zones. Like, there's the storytelling, again, that just is intertwined throughout an HHN season is fantastic. And if you are just solely focused on only doing houses and you don't take in the details of these different parts of the event, you're missing out on like over half of the whole event.
Some of our favorite things in Halloween Horror Nights is the lore, is the story, are the details that are throughout. So the details in the scare zones, or if you're doing a behind the screams tour and you're seeing the house with the lights on, you can take in those elements. And some of our favorite experiences have been with houses that we are like, are kind of middle of the road houses. And then we did the behind the screams tour with the lights on, saw all the details, all the elements, understood the story a little more, and then it elevated the house even further.
Absolutely.
So just through enjoying the details, whether in the houses, in the scare zones, the story, a bit of learning on the Discover Universal podcast or some of the other podcasts that we enjoy, like the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast and all the kind of sister networks therein, to enjoy your Halloween Horror Nights even more is it just enhances the night even further.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that'll be brought to this year's HHN season being an anniversary year, but I still look back on how they intertwined Oddfellow throughout all the different scare zones, and I loved that from that year. Like, it was so well done in my opinion, and I can't wait to see what happens for this anniversary year with both Jack and Oddfellow.
Michael Aiello has already kind of announced what is going on in the Jack and Oddfellow house, and the level of detail and the level of storytelling just in that house alone. I can't even imagine if they give him the creative liberty to do what he wants with that team, with Ramon, with Charles Gray, with Laura, like to be able to just make that storyline a part of the HHN night. Whew, it's going to be a powerful year.
The Oddfellow house ruined me. So I can only imagine if you bring Jack, even if it wasn't Jack, just a clown with the addition to Oddfellow. Yikes.
You saw how busy art was. You saw how popular art was last year, and that was just one sort of icon. We're going to have not only Jack, but Oddfellow probably walking around. Those mobs are going to be crazy around those characters.
So overall, with this hot take, the biggest piece of it is, yes, go enjoy the houses. That's why you're at HHN, is you want to get scared. You want to walk through these immersive sets and get the bejesus scared out of you. Let's be real. And also make sure that you go and enjoy the scare zones, go and enjoy the shows, go see the Death Eaters if they're back this year. I think they might be.
Yeah, they will be.
Do it all. Plan to experience the full entirety of Halloween Horror Nights. Okay, we got another hot take, number 4, and this one, I don't know, this one actually might be more controversial than the very first one. Kids are welcome at Halloween Horror Nights, and you've been warned.
Disclaimer coming is that Universal says for 13 and older.
We've seen this question on a lot of Facebook pages that we are a part of, is like, what's the age limit for Halloween Horror Nights? Can I bring my kid? Can I walk around and have them with me? What does this look like? The biggest piece of this is there is no minimum age, but also you need to be aware, if you're bringing those little ones, that this is an adult themed event. And it's not toned down.
There's going to be blood. There's going to be gore. There's going to be
sexual nature.
There's going to be Art the Clown basically killing people. Like, that is what you can expect from Halloween Horror Nights. And I think the biggest thing is that it's not Mickey's Not So Scary, and it's not intended to be.
People can bring their kids, and I know people in those Facebook groups push back and be like, you shouldn't. It's okay if that's what you want to bring them to. And if the child understands that this is a scary, spooky adult event. There will be drinking, there will be mobs of people going around, being a little rowdy. And if you want to bring your kid to that, we've seen some very fun experiences for kids, especially like with the Death Eaters. Megan, even Art the Clown last year was kind of endearing to see engage with these little kids. And it still will be quite the event for them to go to.
I think the thing that I think about is, would we bring our 7-year-old nephew to Halloween Horror Nights?
Absolutely not. He would be so scared. He is not quite ready for this event. Do I look forward to doing that 100%. And bringing him someday? Yeah, he will. He will come. His parents will come. When he's a little bit older and ready to go to this. But the fact that A Bug's Life still scares him when Hopper comes on the screen, he's probably not quite ready for HHN.
And I don't want the event to change for our nephew either.
No, it's not made for him. We would take him to Mickey's Not So Scary. But also, I can understand that there are some kids that are ready for an event like that, and your parents, if they want to, could bring them. So play it by ear of what works best for your family, but understand what Halloween Horror Nights is, and it's made as an adult Halloween event.
Bring on the gore.
Arguably, some people would be like, more gore, more.
And hot take number 5. Teens inherently do not ruin Halloween Horror Nights. Bad behavior does.
Ooh, I think this one stings.
This one stings a bit.
One of the biggest complaints that we hear almost every year, especially when it comes to those weekend times, is the kids, the teens, are ruining this event.
99% yes, 100% no.
Really what we've seen is not necessarily the teens that are ruining Halloween Horror Nights. It's the bad behavior, and it happens regardless of if you're in middle school, high school, or you're an adult coming to the event. We want people at this event. We want to see people at this event that are going to be well behaved. We're all here to have a good time.
We want you to come to Halloween Horror Nights. We want you to enjoy the scare zones and the drinks and the emotions, and just kind of get away from normal life for a while. Get the pants scared off of you. But kind of when it crosses that line of cutting in line, disruptive behavior, just sort of disrespectful behavior, unsafe behavior as it pertains to the scare actors and the performers, like that's when it kind of crosses that line to kind of inhibiting other people's ability to have fun.
Now, I will put a small asterisk around the drinking, and obviously 21 years or older for any of the drinking. We just want people to be at Halloween Horror Nights and be able to enjoy the event. This is a giant event throughout 2.5 months, and there's a lot of people that are there for just a small piece of it. And so when you go, we can make sure we're all being respectful of each other, the scare actors, the area in which we're at. It's going to be a much better night. And that doesn't just go towards teens, it goes towards everybody.
And I think that's one of our favorite parts as well, is the community aspect of Halloween Horror Nights, bringing people together that love the event, performers, team members, patrons included, like all of those people coming together to enjoy it and enjoy this kind of 2.5 month event is what makes this event so stinking special.
So if you're going to HHN this season, be respectful, enjoy your night.
Leave the event better than you found it.
Absolutely.
And when you put all of these elements and all these hot takes together, it kind of changes how you look at Halloween Horror Nights.
It is an event made for so many people who love the Halloween and spooky season. And really what it comes down to is it's not about the biggest IP houses. It's not about doing it all, although you should try to do everything at HHN. And it's not about just following what somebody else says because, oh, that's the cool thing. It's about going to this event and enjoying as many memories as you can make and getting all the scares you can get.
I know you're already planning your Halloween Horror Nights adventures, so if you have any questions on how to navigate it best, throw them in the comments, shoot us a message. We're more than happy to help you plan your spooky endeavors.
And if you are not currently subscribed to the channel, please do, because we're going to be breaking down the food, the ticketing, strategies, all the things you need to know about HHN. Like, there's too many to even list off. So make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date, especially as more announcements come out. We will be covering them all.
On the ground updates. Let's do this thing. We'll see you in the fog.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
It's here. It's kind of itchy. This is all I have.
You decide your cortisone?
Do you have any? I've been looking all night, but I don't know if it's gonna react. I don't really even know what this stuff is, so I don't know if it's gonna be some sort of chemical reaction.
Yeah, you should get that checked out.
Ew, they're all zombies, and I will be one any moment. Sometimes it's very contagious.